Hey Jen, I hope this is okay. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to do such a thorough review of Doodly. We really appreciate it. We try really hard to listen to, fellow doodlers as well as other online reviews and whatnot to help us find what we're missing so we can always improve our software. We typically release a software update about every 1 to 3 weeks or so, depending on how extensive the new features are. That said, we've released quite a lot of updates since your initial review about 8 months ago. So if you don't mind, what I'd like to do in this video is I'd like to list some of the things that you mentioned in your video that Doodly couldn't do at the time, and or things that were kind of annoying for you and probably other people as well. But I'm really happy to say that Doodly can do these things now. So I want to make a video and kind of go through a few of those things if you don't mind. But again, thank you so much for reviewing Doodly. Your reviews are great. Not just your Doodly review, but all the reviews that you do on your channel. You do a really good job. So it really does, it means a lot to us. Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to kind of go through a few things here. There's not a lot. There are 4 things that I do want to show. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up Doodly here. And let me just go into a project here. So the first thing that I'd like to kind of point out, in your review, around 3 minutes and 20 seconds in, you showed the user interface of Doodly. And like I mentioned, we've added a lot of new things to Doodly since your review was initially created. A few things I do want to point out are we have this button up here called Show Preview. And let me just go ahead and add a few images here just so we have something to work with here. So add that, we'll add this. So we'll add a couple scenes. So we have this Show Preview button up here now, and I'll show you why this is important and what's really nice about this here in a minute. But when you click it, it brings up a little preview window, and you can actually preview your video here. And the timeline down here, you'll notice there's a little bar down here. This thing moves as well as you click the play button. But I'll explain this here in just a minute. So that's the one thing that we've added, a little preview button. We've also added this thing up here called Doodly Rainbow. And you've probably noticed if you use Doodly, recently that we have this button. So let me go into props. I'm going to turn that off. So prior, every image inside of Doodly was black and white. So we added this little Doodly Rainbow add-on, and what it does is it takes every image and it instantly turns it color. So let's say, for example, you have the standard version of Doodly, which comes with X amount of images. They're all in black and white. As soon as you get the Doodly add-on, it takes all the black and white images and it turns them color. So it instantly doubles the amount of images that you have inside of Doodly. Plus, it adds, much more realism and color if you do choose to add color to your videos. If you have the enterprise version, you're going to get 7,000 plus more images. I'm not sure the exact number. We're always adding more images to the software. But just depending on what version you have, with the Doodly add-on, you're doubling the number of images in a sense that you have inside of Doodly. So this is a really cool feature that we've added. So we've added the preview, we've added the Doodly Rainbow button. We've also added pan and zoom in the timeline. So there's this new line up here called pan and zoom, and this is a really, really neat feature. We just added this, let's see, today is Tuesday. We just added it yesterday, so on Monday. And the best way to describe how this works is if you actually go to doodly.com/tutorials. And I could explain this in this video, but Pamela did a really good job for us in creating this tutorial here. So go to this URL here. Go to video number 8, scene panning and zooming, and then just watch this tutorial. It's a really thorough tutorial. It explains everything really well. But essentially what it does is exactly kind of, what it's called, panning and zooming. So within a scene, let me close that. So within a scene, you can determine and show Doodly, do you want to zoom into the, top corner of it? Do you want to zoom in on the top left? Where do you want to pan and zoom the camera within each scene? So prior, we only had sort of panning between scenes. So between this scene and this scene, it would randomly pan from this image over to this image, in a diagonal version, straight down, a right, a left, but it would be random. Well, now you can pan and zoom within an actual scene. So it gives a lot more realism. It's a really cool feature. So we're really proud of that one. That one took quite a while to develop. So just wanted to mention that one. The next thing that I do want to mention is at 8:40 in your video, you went into this screen here. So this screen changed quite a bit since you created your video. We actually have another tab here called Cartoon Hands, which is really cool. And we have 4 hands that you can select from, male and female. hands here. Let me just go ahead and select, I'll just select this hand for now. We'll apply it and do a quick preview, and I'll show you what this one, let me add, a stock image instead of one of these that I uploaded. I don't know, we'll just add this lady in here. So you can see it's a cartoon hand, and there's no other software, to my knowledge, that can, draw things with a cartoon hand. And if you exported the video, it would look a lot smoother than that, obviously. But I did want to point out that we've added some new cartoon hands, and we're always adding new hands to Doodly as well. Okay, and at 11:20 in your video, you had mentioned something that I agree would definitely be annoying, and that was how to match up audio to the video. And I'm going to go ahead and add some audio to the video down here. Let's just slide that audio down. Now this obviously isn't a voiceover, this is just background music, but let's pretend this is a voiceover like yours was. And we wanted to match up the scenes with the audio down here. In your video, you kind of had to do trial and error. You had to click the preview button, the little preview window would show up, and it was kind of a pain to match up the audio to the video. But with this new show preview button up here, we can click that, and all you'll need to do is click the play button, and as I click play, you'll notice this thing moves here, and you'll be able to hear the audio as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click play. You notice the bar moves, you can see what's being drawn. I'm going to pause it, and so you can see, for example, if your audio is going to hear and you need to, have the full image completely drawn by right here, you can just do that, and you can match it up with the little bar here. So it's super easy to match up the audio to the video as well now using this preview. So I do want to mention that. The last thing that I do want to mention is I noticed in your video that you're using the standard version of Doodly, and it does come with the lowest amount of stock images. But I did want to point out to anyone that was watching the video that you can always add your own images as well. And there's lots of stock photo sites out there on the internet. And we are actually this week, we've been working on this for about a half a year now. We're releasing something called the Doodly Marketplace, and it contains about 14,000 unique doodle images, and they're all categorized into different niche bundles and categories, and it's sort of like an a la carte model where you can come into the Doodly Marketplace, you can search for, let's say that you are in a pet business. You can search for whatever bundles that we have that are pet related, and then there'll be predefined bundles in black and white and in color that you can just purchase the entire bundle and then use that bundle inside of Doodly. You don't have to import the images or anything, you just purchase them in the marketplace, and they're instantly and automatically added to, we'll have another marketplace, well, we actually have the marketplace tab here. They're instantly added to the market tab right here, and you'll see your little bundles here, and it's super easy to use. So we do have that option as well. And then also, I'm sure you're aware of this, but the enterprise version actually has 7 times the number of images as the standard version that you are running in your review. So I just want to mention that. Actually, no, I take that back. Not 7 times, 20 times the number of images and 7 times the number of audios. So quite a bit more images in the enterprise version. And I think that's it. So again, Jen, I really appreciate your review. I hope it's okay that I posted this. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks again.